Let me turn my mic up, make sure I'm sounding crystal clear. We got Tim Dog the Diva in the house today. He ran for me in Madden. He backed out, totally backed out. You know what I mean? they talked all that shit about me. But I don't play no game. I'm out here cracking people's ass in that Madden. They don't want no smoke. They don't want
He
no
was telling
problem.
me I have to be the 72 Giants, and he has to be the NFL All-Pro team. That's the only way he would play me.
Yeah, whatever, bro. Whatever. You and I know what's going on.
I'll play you any day. I'm installing it right now. So if you want to play during the week, I'll definitely go at you.
Okay, that's what I'm talking
I'm not
about.
afraid of you.
You sure about that?
You're not afraid.
You sure about that now? You know what I mean?
Well, of course you have to pick the Eagles, the best team.
Nah, I wouldn't get the Eagles, man. You guys are dog shit, man.
You used to pick the Pats. You always have the top team. It's like the same.
Hey, but listen,
He's not a loyal man.
Hey, listen, you know my integrity is always in question. But shit, the Giants beat the Pats all the time. So what the fuck, man?
Yeah, they got horrible rankings on 19.
Oh, who?
Very low.
I mean, who's your backup team?
Well, if I played you, I'd probably play Giants, but I would probably pick with a mobile quarterback. I would like to play, so maybe the Panthers.
Oh,
I like to play Madden where you can run a quarterback around. You know.
Yeah,
I remember when Remember when everyone used Vic?
What man was that? Madden, what? Fucking 2003 or something?
Yeah, way back. But he was the best quarterback to play with, in my opinion.
Yeah, he was fast
great.
Hey, you know who else was before Vic though? Culpepper for fucking Minnesota. Yes. He was like drop back and haul ass on you. Minnesota was tough to beat. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Yeah. That's throwback.
Since we're on Madden 19, I want to know what you guys' thoughts are about Kaepernick being taken out of the EA soundtrack pages.
That's
name like it was a fucking swear word.
Yeah, that was pissed. I'm glad that they made those changes, man. Because I was pissed off about it. I wasn't going to buy Madden because of it, but they made they did what they did the right call, man. Because when I posted something on Twitter, and I was basically like, man, look, you know what I'm saying? Regardless of what maybe some of the fans that like buy season tickets, they may react to certain things, but the demographic that buys your game, your video game, is a whole different group of people. So you know what I'm saying? You better put that shit in consideration. So but they worked on that shit quick. ESPN jumped on it, all types of shit.
Yeah, it was pretty big
It's
news.
a conspiracy, man. I still, man, you know, I got my 10 hours, my trial with EA Access. But I don't know. If I can get some games, some people will play me. I'm dog shit to take my shit on the net. But I know I can beat you podcasters for sure. I got about 3 plays. I got toss left.
You ain't beating me,
bro. I would beat you. Listen, you played when I was ill health. I got toss left, toss right, up the middle when I run my slants. Can't nobody fucking stop me.
Yeah, and you didn't beat me in.
Okay, bro. Hey, bro.
Play
me, bro. I've been listening. Tekken netcode is fixed now. All you gotta do is boot up, bro. Boot up.
I mean, anytime.
But you always say that all the time, bro.
You hit me up at like 12 o'clock Saturday, bro. Right? And then I said, I'm loading it right now, right?
Hey, Mega.
You said, I gotta go get some coffee. I never heard from your motherfucking
bro. Mega, I hopped on, Mega.
Me, Crap, and everybody else.
I did hop on.
Playing Sea of Thieves.
I left a message in the group.
9:15 p.m.
Hey, bro, I left a message in the group and I did hop on. I came right back.
9:15 p.m.
Hey, bro,
that's
listen.
The messages is right there.
Hey, Mega, I got a stream up of me actually calling you out, texting you, doing my live stream.
You didn't text me
I bet you check your inbox. I said Madden 19, and I ain't shit else for you.
My phone's off again?
Bro, I don't know. I'm talking about not texting. I'm talking about messaging on Xbox Message.
Live.
Yeah. Oh shit. Okay.
I want to congratulate EA though, because for the first time in I can't remember how many years, it's finally back on PC, and it runs excellent on the PC. It's nice.
I can't wait to play it on PC.
It looks fantastic. I did like a little benchmark.
Is it crossplay?
I don't know if it's crossplay. I did a little quick benchmark with my Vega 64 card, and I was getting sometimes like 120, 130 frames per second at 4K with everything turned up. Man, fantastic job. And K Mega, I was thinking about you yesterday. I was watching the Tekken, video, and I see that Megan is coming to Tekken. That's pretty dope.
I'm going to make a video talking about Evo here, if not tonight, definitely tomorrow. Yeah, but just hype because I was watching a lot of Evo shit, and when I seen that, I went up there. I told my lady, I said, you know, she don't give a fuck about Tekken, but we do watch The Walking Dead, and so I was like, Negan. She said, "Shut up." I said, "Yeah," but I was tripping out, like, you know.
What do we have to pay for that? Or I know I got the season pass when I got Tekken.
If you have the season pass, probably not.
Hope not, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I hope not, because with Street Fighter, and you know what, Street Fighter, I'm gonna have to dust off Street Fighter now because they got the characters that I've been waiting for. They got
I was planning to do that.
They got Sakura.
They got Sadat up that motherfucker.
Yeah, they a bad motherfucker. I cannot wait to jump on some fucking some of that. Man, I wish fucking Xbox would get Guilty Gear, man. I love that fucking game.
I think I might jump back into Tekken. I left Tekken because I used to play with what the hell's his name? He did the Kawepa, whatever.
Eddie.
Yeah. So Eddie has
cheesiest player in the world to play with. God damn.
I learned his pattern, so I was amazing with him.
Listen, my 95-year-old grandmother knows his pattern. Spam master.
But ever since I kind of stopped playing the game, and then I saw with this reveal, they added this new character, and he does all these different type of kung fu styles. I saw him do the mantis and the crane. I was like, holy shit! I forget the character's name, but Tekken, this new update, this new DLC, it's looking lit. I think I'm gonna have to jump into it.
They brought Nina, they brought Wei Lu Long back. That a lot of people been asking for those characters. They got 3 more characters gonna come, because the one thing I was really pissed off about was the expansion of the characters. They only did 2. They were great players. Nasus from Final Fantasy and a King of the Fighters character, but I was like, where the fuck is the rest of everybody else? But they're making up for it. So if the DLC, if the season 2 is free, if you got the deluxe, then that's even more of a win. So I'm happy.
All right, listen, so you gonna play me in Tekken under the netcode is working?
The netcode is working on now. Man, I was playing last night. Hey, Dragon Wars, man, he was over here. He got me a few times.
Yeah, he play this shit every day. He should be a master. He play this shit every day.
Yeah, but he pissed me off. He started talking that shit, and then I whooped his motherfucking ass. We played Mortal Kombat, we played Killer Instinct, and we played Tekken. And the liquor started flowing, and it started getting more wild and shit. Talking got great. I streamed that shit. It was wild. I was like, man.
Wait, hold up. We
played that shit till 2:00 this morning.
Oh, it's about Mortal Kombat. That's the thing. Like I said, speaking, I don't know who the hell put that rumor out in the air that Killer Instinct was gonna have some unveiling, something new. And I watched that dog shit show.
That nothing.
It was just a patch. My God.
There was a patch. They did say in the thing that, like, look, man, you can't.
They said don't expect much.
Don't expect much.
That's not. Listen, I didn't get that memo because I damn sure want to watch that show. It was a patch, bro.
The announcement, they had a show announcement for a patch. Really.
An hour and a half show for a patch.
Yeah.
Oh man, but shit, everybody here today? We got. I don't know. I can't even see the chat.
I see crap in there.
Okay, we got it. First of all, shout out to everybody in the chat as you guys come in. You'd be so kind to hit the like button. We should have a very entertaining show today, to say the least. We're gonna try to. We're gonna get to the bottom of this. All this Spider-Man hate going on in the Xbox community. We're gonna see what the fuck's going on with that.
Spider-Man sucks.
Yeah, you know what I mean. We're gonna talk about that. You got any good Xbox news? Positive Xbox news? I know crap gotta make it till the day about 3:00 in the morning, but. We got any news?
Mike just tweeted something that he said. I'll read the tweet. It's kind of a tease.
Oh Jesus!
It's another patch.
Fun day today. Lots of exciting things happening. # Xbox.
Oh.
Also, the fact that there might be potential Neo could be coming to the Xbox.
That was already.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Neo could be coming to the Xbox. Also, there's a JRPG that's coming. That's exclusive, and that's coming to the Xbox. Which I seen posting that stuff, and I was like, "What the fuck, really?" And then I started looking into it, and then it looks like it's a thing. They showed a trailer of it back in 2016. But I don't think this is going to.
There's no gameplay.
Way different. Yeah.
Yeah, this is weird.
Yeah, this is going to be but it's a JRPG. So Xbox is they're doing it, and it's an RPG on top of that. So, okay,
who's making it?
Let's go. I forgot the name of the company. but it's somebody that I've never heard before. So if they make a certain type of.
Is it a decent looking game? Like I hope it's like no D4 type shit.
You really don't see anything. Look, to me, what it sounded like more than
It's a
anything,
JRPG. It's a dungeon JRPG. So.
yeah, I was gonna say something like kind of like
Yeah.
Persona in a way, because of like you go into dungeons and shit and fight fight creatures and shit. Like I think like there's a different type of world like in that type of realm. So it sounds kind of interesting. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what it is, but that's cool. So yeah, positive news for Xbox.
Well, before so any word up what's going on for Gamescom?
I mean, they're gonna be there. They're not gonna do a show. They're doing a live stream or whatever.
Yeah, they might have little announcements here and there. They might have enhancement games. They might have. They'll definitely have. I think the
Elite 2, yeah.
the Elite 2, and I think they might possibly announce maybe an event later in the year. That's going to be with more news. So that's what I would lean toward.
Is this event going to be similar to the Sony experience?
Yeah, it's like going to be their answer to that.
Finally, I mean, we've been asking. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We've been asking for something for like that for like 15 goddamn years.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, it's
think
kind of lame if they don't have anything to show, though. I mean, if they don't have anything to show, then
that Fable 4.
Yeah, I mean, they could boot that up. I mean, maybe they were saving it specifically for that. I think that'd be a pretty big game.
Well, why are they doing that event if they're doing a small Gamescom?
Because Gamescom is too close to
E3.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's perfect time in the middle.
Basically, what Gamescom is for them, they're doing the Xbox experience where the fan thing, where people can go try out the games, and they get to see the games and stuff that they're showing off. They're not gonna have a presser. They're just gonna do a mixer.
I don't think they're gonna use any kind of big info like Fable. They're gonna hold for this event. If they do it at the end of the year, but just the timing of it too. I mean, you're coming off a big E3 high. Gamescom basically has been abandoned by pretty much Sony and Microsoft, and it's just not the conference it used to be.
It used to have Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft back in the day. Now
it's more of an expo type deal, and I think that Xbox
like PAX or something, yeah.
Right, European. They have Xbox Live Fan Fest. That keep the community. They'll have some announcements, but I think the lion's share, if they're gonna have more announcements, is gonna come at the Xbox event, whether it's in Chicago or Midwest. Or something of that nature, something different for the end of the year, and to start, like their answer to PSX. I think they're going to hold the info for there. Like if they have a studio that they're close to buying, or they got, let's say, the IP in the studio, they would announce it there.
Okay. Here's another thing. I look at it like this again, because Gamescom is huge. It's for Europe, all of Europe. Everywhere, right? And we know that Sony has a stranglehold on Europe. You know what I mean? I will look at it because again, Sony is going to do their Paris Games Week show. Now, I remember we used to tease that. Like, I'd never heard of the Paris Games Week show ever, and then Sony made it a big thing. If Sony's going to have that being their big thing and still do the PSX, I'm from the mindset like Microsoft should pause, really go hard at Gamescom. You know what I mean? Something,
Well, they might do Paris Games. They might do the same thing Sony did. The fact is that they're not going to blow a ton of information 2 months, 2 months, close to each other. If you're going to have a lot of information, you first want to build up the show. So getting 2 months to say 5 months or 3 months, 4 months is more time for info. When you're after E3, you're pretty much exhausted, or you either exhausted or you have like maybe a Fable. In the they have something that they held back, which we know that they held something back because they kind of said that they did. So that gives you time to build up the it gives you time to build up info, and I think that it's just too much. It's just too I heard people say it's too quick of a turnaround.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I wasn't really I know you guys are excited about E3. I was still waiting for some news, besides the Studios.
I think you'll get Fable. I think if they do.
I hope, man. Goddamn.
Fable's definitely real. I mean, it's we know it's real, so I think they might do it at the other event. But I don't think that either Sony or Microsoft's going to have a big presence at Gamescom ever again, because they both have they're either going to. Well, Sony has their own show, and they also do Paris Games Week, and it just they can't. They're not gonna have enough information to do all three,
Mm-hmm.
and they also have the Japanese Tokyo game show, or that. So it's just Gamescom's kind of like left out in the. Left out there. Now, if you remember, like 3 years ago, Gamescom for Xbox, they had a huge E3, and then they had a huge Gamescom.
Yeah. Mike,
And,
thank you.
You know, it kind of really, you know, it didn't really push the needle, and it should have, but it didn't. So I guess they're trying something new, or I'm guessing they're going to try something new.
I guess. Well, I mean, the new Elite 2. You know, we love our gadgets. I guess that'd be kind of exciting. But you know, I know this one's probably get slammed. Wow, another controller, no games. You know how it's already going to play out in the media. But I see that Microsoft just announced a partnership with Disney, with their Movies Anywhere service. You guys heard about it?
Yeah.
Thoughts? Anything? Or
I mean, everyone else is a part of it.
Yeah.
I'm sad to see some of these movies leave Netflix though, because some of the Disney movies that were on Netflix.
That was my.
They need to live it now.
Yeah, that was my question. Because my uncle's a big, huge comic book guy. I know they said that Disney was going. They were. Did they buy Hulu? Who the hell did they buy?
Disney bought Fox, but they would have the majority stocks in Hulu at that point. Once
so are they going to? Because I have Hulu also. Are they going to?
We don't know.
So the purchase went through. Huh?
I guess, but or are they going to do their own streaming? Because I was hearing.
I think they're going to do their own.
Like DC is doing with their.
Back when this was rumored to happen, maybe about 5-6 months ago, I remember reading the story, and they are going to have their own streaming service. They are going to pull those the specific movies, like I can't remember the exact movies, but most of their Marvel movies, they're coming off of
my thing is not really the movies.
Not the TV show ones. I'm talking like the
movies.
movies.
I don't care about the movies. My thing is the shows, like
the shows get to stay there because they're mature shows, so Disney doesn't really want them.
What I mean, yeah, but I guess so. So wait, here's the thing. I don't know much. So does Disney or does Marvel? Do they own X-Men now again?
Pretty close. Basically, the feds have to say yes to it, but they're basically right there.
Yeah, but they'll own that and the rights to Fantastic Four as well.
Yep.
And they're in Deadpool. So
yep.
They so like if they intertwine those into the MCU, you're talking about like directors meeting other directors and trying to clash and put this all together, man. And then you could have the Avengers against the X-Men. That's a dream come true for me because I'm a huge
a lot of potential
fan. Right, and that's ill. You know, Hugh Jackman is going to definitely come back. You know what I'm saying? And that,
he said he didn't want to do it.
He said if there was something that happened with this where he could do something with Downey Jr. and with Steve Rogers, or you know what I'm saying, Captain America. I forgot what his original name is.
Yeah, but he's been saying that for years.
Oh my God, he said he would.
I saw him on TMZ and maybe about 2 months ago, and they asked him about facing off against Deadpool, and he said no. He said he's done. He says his part being that character is done. That was about 2 months ago.
Well, what do we mean? Do you mean Wolverine again or a different role? Because it could be a different role, but it's not Wolverine.
No, he's not
going to be Wolverine again. That's if they do Old Man Logan again.
Old Man Logan was the shit, though.
But Logan, no spoilers aside, Logan, the way it was written, that's it, man. You know?
Yeah, of course. I mean, but you know they got the timelines though. They have the alternate.
Yeah,
timeline.
Exactly. The whole timeline's fucked up there.
Yeah, they got the timeline, back and future, this, that, and the other. But again, I think all of, to be fair, here's my opinion. The other Logan movies were dog shit.
They were.
Yeah, they were really. It was Japanese.
The third one with what's called had potential until the very end when they did.
I didn't like any of those shits.
The reason why they were dog shit, in my opinion, was
he looked horrible.
He just wasn't Wolverine. Like if you've read, I read the comics when I was a kid. Wolverine was extremely violent. He was a badass. Like you know,
the PG-13 done. That was the problem.
And they neutered him in the movies. Logan was the first time we actually really got to see a fucking Wolverine.
True.
Yeah, but Marvel's gonna pick like some young actor because remember, this person has to hold the franchise for over 10 years. Like that's why they're not gonna go with Hugh.
Well, I mean,
that's going to be difficult because there's two actors I think that you just cannot. Three. You can't replace Iron Man. You can't replace Captain America, and you can't replace Hugh Jackman. You just can't. I mean, they're gonna try, but I mean,
hey, I was surprised your pro black ass. You can't replace the Black Panther. You're making how you be doing hashtag save.
You
surprised you ain't say that.
About Black Panther. It hit over 700 million.
More than
Yeah,
that.
one of the 3
domestically.
films ever.
Yes,
more
you know what
than
I'm
that.
saying?
I was
hit
gonna be wrong. It
that-
was a good
that
movie.
benchmark.
It was a good movie.
Great movie. Great.
700 million was just domestic, not even all around.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's up there. I think it's in the top 10 now, all time.
So my question to this panel, and I don't think anybody probably could answer it. What the hell is going on with Microsoft Movies Anywhere? What does it benefit me on an Xbox?
It doesn't.
Well, I got it right here. It says here. Microsoft,
I don't know how it works.
It says Microsoft announced today that you will be joining the Disney. They will be joining the Disney Lead Movies Anywhere service, a service that aggregates the digital movies you accumulate into one larger library. So I guess movies that you buy on your Xbox, you can have access to them on Google Play, Amazon Video, Vudu, Fandango.
Can I buy 4K Xbox games, movies?
I guess
I don't
whatever.
even think I remember there was a time when they
I don't know the
had a
bandwidth.
4K,
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't honestly. They kind of like dumped it, and then I dumped it. I don't even look at the Xbox video. Let's say if you know, when you look
I buy
for a
4K
movie-
physically. You just have to.
Yeah.
However, if you want 4K digital, you gotta really buy them on. Well, I believe the Apple TV has some of them on there, and
Right.
and of course Google Play. Google Play is where I buy my 4K movies. You know, sometimes they have promotions. You know, buy one free and all kinds of shit, right? So sometimes I'll buy them on there, and I have a Chromecast Ultra, right? So if you buy a 4K movie on Google Play and you have a Chromecast Ultra, you can cast it to your TV through the Chromecast Ultra in 4K with HDR.
Okay, but now now that you bought it on the Google Play Store with this Xbox Anywhere, whatever they call on this, Movies Anywhere, will it be added to your Xbox library? That's where I'm confused. I don't know.
Messy. Well, I do know the Google Play movies. Obviously, YouTube's involved. So like whenever you go on your YouTube app, if you look under your purchases, your movies are there too. Obviously, it won't play in HDR, but it'll play in 4K on YouTube as well.
Yeah. But I guess whatever you. I don't know. But
yeah, we need some clarification. Send the tweets out.
Well, it says
I mean, I see Tom Warren and all these guys push it out, and
I guess
nobody really knows what it is or how it works. And I think the panel here is pretty technical, and I think that nobody here knows.
It says here though. It says here in the statement, it's on Game Info. It says what this means is that the movies you get on Xbox Live services or the Microsoft Store can now be stored in this library. I guess
what if I buy it from iPhone though? Like what if I buy
all of them are teaming up, and you better store your digital movies in one place, and you better watch it anywhere. This is what they're saying.
Yeah.
So
right, I get the concept, but I don't know how they tie it in. I'm gonna have to figure it out, but there probably is a simple way to tie in. But from what I gather is that if I buy a movie on iTunes, that I'll be able to watch that on my Xbox. Now,
yep.
I'm sure it'll work like that. Basically, Disney is such a huge conglomerate now that they are forcing all these companies to do this shit.
It's easier for them.
Right.
This is Disney's movie anywhere.
Yeah, well, somebody just went off in the chat. Hold up, my brother Sadek, Harry Helene.
Whoa,
He says, remember when Sony did in the beginning? They hold back most of their games and was free rating on indies, third parties to finalize their games. Hope Microsoft understand that and don't rush out their new IPs. Okay, so
got a good point. You know, you can say I see what he's saying.
Well, he's talking about maybe at the start of next generation.
I mean, Sony did live on that for how long?
Yeah.
And anybody who wants to dispute it is,
okay.
How long did they live on it for? Like 2 years they lived on that.
Well, maybe 3. But
I remember my friend Jabari hyping Octodad, hyping.
Oh god!
I remember Titanfall came out and he was actually comparing it to Towerfall. No, that was another guy. But that's the type of shit that went on. But that's not actually that's I don't disagree with that thinking.
But here's the thing, though, right? What's my man name? Jesus Christ, the true godfather of the Xbox. What's his name again? Shameless Blackley, right? He did an interview somewhere, and someone had sent it to me, and I got a dog shit memory. But basically, was saying at the start of this generation, of course, the PS4, the Xbox One, the Xbox was $100 more. Of course, it was weaker. But he said when people buy a new console at the start of the generation, yes, everything's about the games now, but people want that leap, and what am I buying more bang for my buck? And so, and to their credit, they really played it up. Hey, we got the more powerful box, and 1080p makes you a better gamer. But I mean, those same standards. I mean, we can say why it's not held up today. You know what I mean? Is it because Sony games just look better? Maybe are their exclusives just better, or you know what I mean? Or has always been like 900p to 1080p wasn't that big of a deal, but it was played up in the media. But with again comparing their exclusive wise, way they look compared to what we have, on the Xbox, it's like night and day. You know what I mean? Like, would you disagree? Like look at Spider-Man or whatever the hell, or to compare. Whether we're gonna talk about Spider-Man also. Compare that to Sea of Thieves. Like, god damn, it's not even.
Yeah, I have to say, like, Sony's hitting it out the park with the exclusives. Like,
They're like Nintendo right now.
What can you say at this point? Microsoft had to regroup. They had to buy up some studios, and now they're back in the lab cooking. They're back in the kitchen cooking, and we're gonna have to wait to see what they cook up for us. But right now, Sony is killing it, and the fanboys, they don't really like it. Like, I saw King's Blood tweet. He was saying, Xbox fanboys are trying to pit PS4 games against PS4 games, saying that Spider-Man is not going to sell more than God of War. And then he said, he said, Spider-Man, I know one thing though, Spider-Man is going to sell more than all of the Xbox One exclusives this year. Ha ha ha, whatever. But I gotta say, man, Sony's doing their thing with their exclusives. Like, I'm excited for the Sony exclusives that are coming out. I can't wait to play Spider-Man. When Spider-Man comes up, I'm gonna be on a bender. I'm gonna be up all night playing that game.
What about you, Tim Dog? Is there any Spidey hate on your side of the street there?
Yeah, it's on the PS4. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think that Sony and Insomniac had a great idea, and that's.
Well, where did that come from, though? Like, where? Like,
well,
that was ingenious, because no one expected that. No one expected that. I didn't expect that. I didn't see that.
No, nobody did, and I think that, and we were talking pre-show. With these type of games, in the past you used to see these releases with these games with the movie, and the games were just horrible. They were rushed. They weren't AAA caliber, and it was a disservice to really the superheroes. But with video games, if you can lock down the character and pretty much a story, and that's what you get when you get a video game character like Spider-Man. All you have to do is make it look good, run good, and have good gameplay, which is still Insomniac's going to do that. But like with Sunset Overdrive, people were like, "What is this? It's being like a punk, or what? How do they identify with the game?" And people were like, "I don't know who this punk guy is. This is not, I know you can create your own character, but this and that." But when you have these superhero games, you can't go wrong. So Sony said, "Look, we have this IP. Let's get a AAA, experience, and it's just going to work." And that's why I think that if there's a Superman, Rocksteady should do that. And if Xbox should learn from anything from this, is that if you could get Black Panther somehow exclusive, and you could get a AAA studio behind that, that's a move you got to make. But
who would they get to make it? Who would they get to make it?
Their new studio.
One of the new studio, or they could try Insomniac.
Oh, so who did the Xbox overlord?
They can hire Insomniac. No, in all honesty, what I would do, honestly, if I was up in my right now, because Insomniac's like a free agent, right? So
yes,
I would tell them, you know what? Let's get the rights to Venom, and Insomniac make us a Venom game. That's what I would do. That would be the perfect counterpunch to Sony Spider-Man.
But isn't Venom owned by
it's owned by Sony.
Sony as well. I mean, all the Spider-Man property. That's the reason why they were doing the.
I don't know if they had merch.
I don't know if they have Venom. I'm not sure if they have Venom.
No, but I know they
the Venom movie.
Yeah, that's what they're making. I think they own all of the Spider-Man property.
But I don't know. I think they sold the merch back.
They sold the merchandise back, but because Disney and Sony are working together, basically Sony gets all the rights to the games right now.
So I mean, look,
open that wallet.
You can't open the wallet in that instance.
You wouldn't want to do it for Venom. I say do it for something else.
Are you Venom? Hey, Venom.
No. You can't do it in that instance because of the whole MCU thing. Like
right.
this,
I understand why it can't be done, but Venom would be awesome, and Black Panther. Black Panther would be awesome.
Black Panther would be awesome.
Listen, all of these,
Iron Man,
like Tim was saying off the air, all of these characters are great. They translate fantastic into video games. It's just a matter of getting a good developer behind it, a good studio behind it, and some money into it, and they take the time and don't rush it out. And they know the lore of the character of the universe. It's an easy sell. because we read comics, we watch these shows on Netflix, we go and see these movies, and it's because they faithfully give us the character on screen. Now, if you can faithfully recreate these experiences in a video game, it's a no-brainer.
You know what's the crazy part though? At one point in time, Microsoft had like all the Avengers writing shit to them, but they used it all for Kinect shit.
Yeah, you know what, Microsoft.
They had all those game rights.
Yeah, they
But
had.
in fairness, though, the superhero stuff just really been taking off in the last 10
Imagine
years.
Green Lantern when we were talking. Imagine Green Lantern like a real look. That'd be sick.
What's
Green
up, dude?
Lantern, Green
I
Xbox.
definitely. I think Xbox should work with DC personally. I think
They got Warner Brothers though. They don't
Yeah, Warner Brothers.
Well, I
they're
mean, they can work with. They can go and partner up with Warner Brothers. I don't see. I mean, look, there's a lot of potential. There's a lot of potential. That's great stuff on DC, man. I mean, they have. If you go in by villain to villain,
Superman. That's it.
DC have better villains than Marvel. That's just a fact. It's just Marvel is just the
Turn it down,
MCU is just made a fantastic universe with the live screen action of all the Marvel stuff that they're doing. DC, if they let's just say for Aquaman, for instance, I think everybody's hyped for Aquaman. That looks great. So if they can get that type, if the directors can get that type of, Aquaman, and then like Wonder Woman was really good, if they can just get things on a roll. I mean, and all the Batmans were great. I don't think anybody can say that any of the Batmans were terrible from. So
imagine they do Scarecrow, or you play as the Joker, and you do play even as the villains in these games would be insane.
The Legion of Doom playing. I mean, DC has got a lot of potential.
Imagine the world.
It's just who's working with it. That's all.
You know how you can go completely out of the left field though? If you again, it's also inexpensive, but you can just do like a Spawn game. That fills like the Venom need and everything.
Stupid.
I was saying,
like that shit's even cheap.
Yeah, hold on.
Personally, I'm not big on the DC guys, to be honest with you. I like Superman. I like Batman, of course. I like the Joker.
That Aquaman movie.
It's okay.
That Aquaman movie looks crazy. That movie looked crazy. Hold on, let me play the bills right quick. Oh, Flash gonna be sick too. Von Lamont, shout out to my brother Von Lamont. He said Insomniac is going to be most likely working on the Spider-Man sequels. They done turned it. Most likely it's going to be a franchise. Spider-Man sequels next gen, so they're not a free agent. They're going to be like they kind of going to be like a Sony studio. So
they've always been like one.
Yeah,
right. They've always worked with them.
But I believe
that's just because it said they're busy, not because they're actually locked down.
Yeah.
Well, I think probably, I know some of the guys. I've met them and I've had conversations. Insomniac Games, the people there are really good people, and one person, Ted Price, is like he's a super cool dude, and he's I could see him, kind of want to stay independent, but then I could see that game making such a big, it's gonna sell like crazy, where the money's just gonna be undeniable. Like everyone's gonna say, "Hey, we want it too," and how could you walk away from it? There's no pressure there, and it's a slam dunk. So I do think that they probably will be doing Spider-Man 2 unless something drastic happens. I just see that game being very successful. I see the partnership good. And I don't think that even if Microsoft try to sway them off, that they would have the money to do it, because they right now they're a free agent, but they're gonna have a Triple Crown year coming with Spider-Man, and they're gonna be
To me, look, the Spider-Man looks amazing. I can't wait to get it. But this is the problem with me, is that I think the perception of the hype is way more.
What?
To the stratosphere.
Cut his goddamn mic off.
Well, I think listen, this is the truth, right? I think the game is going to be great, but the problem is that look, after a couple of weeks,
oh shit,
October is going to be here, and
hey Megan, let me say it for you. After a couple of weeks, you can be back on that Sea of Thieves. Fuck nigga.
Why don't you listen to what I got to say?
Right, let me hear it.
In October, there's going to be an abundance of great games that's going to be coming, and the biggest game that's going to kill everything, and that's going to be Red Dead Redemption 2. Like, that's what I'm saying. So
hey Mega,
I'm just, what I'm saying. Look, Spider-Man is going to be great. But I'm saying, like, for people just saying all of this going way so far about this, like, there's been other Spider-Mans that's been out there.
That's not the same thing.
Let me just say this right here. The game looks from everything that I've seen thus far. The game looks fantastic. Gameplay wise, hold on a second. It looks like it has a great story, and I'm hearing that it's not going to be one of those quick games. There's a lot of side missions that you can do. There's a lot of other things that can do. They're going to add new bosses, into the game. Yes, I don't think it's going to last as long as a multiplayer game. Of course not. But it's going to make its impact, and it's going to leave its mark. And
let's be honest.
No game this season is gonna stand up against Red Dead Redemption. So that's kind of an unfair comparison. The game is gonna leave its mark.
I'm talking about the game that's coming. Okay.
And to be fair, they're exclusive because it's a Sony exclusive. That game, it's more impactful than what we have coming this year.
Hold on. Let me pay the bills right quick.
Hold on.
Let me pay the bills first.
Let me pay the bills. Harry Helene said Insomniac is a Sony second-party studio sequel. Thanks. So they ain't got time to be working on no dog shit Xbox. Sony got them in their pocket. But okay, yeah, they can make. Let me hear the rest of the damage control. You got it. The floor is yours.
No, that's not me damage controlling. I'm saying I'm hyped for the game as well, but I'm saying that we're talking about, well, Xbox should be trying to get Venom and Xbox should be
Why not?
Xbox, what for? Like, I mean,
what?
It's already owned by Sony. So what? So why worry about Spider-Man when there's other properties out there?
We're just speaking facetiously. We're not saying literally Spider-Man. They can get something.
But again, what I'm saying is that, look, it's like Spider-Man is not going to be. I think Spider-Man is going to outsell God of War because of its popularity, but it will not have an impact like God of War will. That's just my opinion. I mean, Spider-Man will not be a Game of the Year contender. God of War is. So let's not forget that. So I'm just saying.
Hey, Megan, come on now.
And then the big games that's coming out in October. You got Tomb Raider coming out too in the same month. I mean, like, Spider-Man is going to do well.
I gotta say right now, somewhere, Morgan Days, he just woke up and he just started making a video.
Hey, wait, hold up.
I don't. You know what I'm saying? It's not an insult to Spider-Man. I'm just saying that.
Hey, Megan.
Like it's like this is the first coming of something.
Listen,
and it's another Spider-Man game. It's probably the best Spider-Man game that we probably will play. But
okay.
Come on.
Let me pay the bills right quick.
I'll let you repay the bills first.
This is legendary.
Hey, listen. He said, Ross said something good, brother Ross. He said, it's popular to downplay what's popular. Shaking my head. That can't make it. Now, listen now. And listen, I'm
downplaying the hype level of it.
Okay,
like I'm saying,
but you also downplayed God of War. You also downplayed God of War.
I did.
Okay.
I did. But
so
it too.
Yeah.
So,
then he admitted that it was great. So
okay.
Yeah, I mean, so it's your game. So I mean, I don't know why you
give him that credit.
Well, I'm just saying, is your integrity in question?
It's not a 10, but the game is great. What?
Oh, I'm saying so you admit that your integrity may not be the best right now. I'm saying because you also downplayed God of War.
How am my integrity being questioned?
Let me ask you about integrity here. I'm going to ask the panel.
Okay.
What's the Metacritic of the game?
8.5.
Spider-Man in the 80s.
8.5. I give it 8.5. 8.5.
Yeah, I think it's gonna do 89, 88, 89.
I say 8.5. Are we doing 1 to 10?
It's gonna fall a little bit.
So, but you're questioning him now about his integrity, and you're giving it an 85.
I said the 8.5. I mean 8.
Yeah, but the way people are talking sounds like it's gonna be a 90.
Okay, but listen.
That's
hey, Tim.
Wait, so it has to be over a 90 to be good now?
Hey, listen.
No, but when you're talking like in the matter of fact that people are, I think people think that like this is going to be a game-crushing game that's going to be a 90 Metacritic. It's going to sell.
Hey Tim,
right?
Yeah.
Hey Tim, now you know you're the sister to the title. You're my favorite white boy, right? Now listen, you can't be out there talking about Sea of Thieves. It's the goddamn game, and you hyping this shit up every week on Twitter. But you know what I mean, and that got a 69 on Metacritic. What the hell did I get?
But my point is that it's a little different than God of War, I would think, or something like that. There is a little bit the hypeness that you're getting is because you get that when you get a superhero game and you're doing it the right way. That's I think the bottom line. I think that's why you hear people say it's been overhyped, is because when I read all this stuff and I see the comments, I'm thinking like this game is going to be like a killer. Like Sony usually gets these games that are 89 or above Metacritic. but in actuality, everyone on the panel is at 85, or like, well, I think D is
I
at
think
85.
8.5.
Right. So you're
8.5 is a great score.
So you're comparing Spider-Man to God of War. It's not a comparison.
All right,
God
okay.
of War, you can look at the Metacritic for God of War.
I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example.
Metacritic matters now?
Oh, let me.
It does matter. You don't think Metacritic matters?
Oh,
it does.
It doesn't matter to me, but I'm saying in the
but
fact
it matters.
but I'm saying, the hype level.
What are you saying?
I'm not talking about the game.
The crack level?
I'm saying the hype.
What type of hype are you talking about?
People are more. It seems like people are more hyped about Spider-Man than they were about God of War. And God of War.
It's a bigger.
Why that is though? You want to know why that is?
Year contender. Spider-Man will not be.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
I
saying.
agree, but I think that God of War did that.
Yeah. Over here, Juan Lamont. If Arkham City got Game of the Year nomination back in 2011, why can't Spider-Man do that in 2018? Tomb Raider, damn sure, ain't gonna be Game of the Year either.
Hold on.
Let me say this: Are we to the point where you can't say a game?
Watch your goddamn mouth, crap.
Is maybe not going to be the game that everybody is claiming that it's going to be, and not get attacked for it. What I'm saying is this, right?
Okay.
What has this particular Spider-Man game shown us?
Okay.
That other Spider-Man games haven't.
Hey, crap, hold on. Before you go any further, let me pay the bills real quick. I was. Okay, Floyd Mayweather. He says Tomb Raider looks lackluster. No dual pistols. What the fuck? Hey, I mean, honest with you, Spider-Man has taken all my hype away from Tomb Raider. But yeah, finish, crap. Let me hit this spin.
So what I'm saying is, at what point are we not allowed to say?
At what point?
At what point are we not allowed to say this game hasn't showed? Me personally, where you can't get attacked by saying that, right? Like for me personally, there is nothing that I've seen, and in fact, the E3 gameplay that I saw for this game actually lowered my hype level.
Oh shit!
And you go back and you look at every previous recent Spider-Man game, and they're all basically like that, right? Swing through the city, fight the different bosses, do this kind of thing. This game has no new game plus. If you watch IGN play the first 3 hours, they were very unimpressed with it. If you talk to people that were at E3, one that we had on Crossfire named Zoot played the game, very unimpressed with the game. I think that people that are expecting this to beat out God of War in Metacritic score or possibly beating it in Game of the Year type fashion are going to be in for a little bit of a surprise. I predicted 79 to 81 in Metacritic.
Oh, shit.
I think it's going to be a good game for sure. I don't think it's going to be this game where people
not on God of War level.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Now,
I think that we actually articulated a lot of ways that some of the people that are talking about the
and it's not hating, right? Like I'm not. I have the game pre-ordered. Right. So it's not hating. It's like you can't.
So I'm like, what are you talking about? Not hating on the game.
Hey, the minute I'm not allowed to critique a game because it's PlayStation 4 because it's getting super hyped up, then let me know and I'll bounce off the show.
Oh my God!
I mean, this is just what they're like. I mean,
man, get your ass up out of here, bro. Stop it.
That's the question. And 2014, crap. What was your game of the year?
Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Rise of the Tomb Raider wasn't Sunset Overdrive?
2014?
No, Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Rise of the Tomb Raider.
How was Sunset Overdrive? Was in the
Sunset
contender?
Overdrive was it was. We did BGST awards and Sunset Overdrive was Rise of the Tomb Raider was unanimous decision from us.
And you got to remember, guys, that Tomb Raider has been snubbed for the VGAs twice. Both games he got snubbed. It wasn't even nominated.
Yeah. It wasn't nominated in 2014 because it was Xbox exclusive at that time.
The sad thing is that there's people getting defensive about Spider-Man, but when the when Sunset Overdrive came out, all the same people were freaking talking about 900p and dismissing the game. That's how sad I see some of the things that are in this that go on. It's just like, it's just it depends on, I guess, some bullshit.
Now crap. I hate to question your integrity, but why do you have a video that says, let's play the 2014 Game of the Year Sunset Overdrive on the Xbox One?
And if you look at it when it came out, that was me just trying to instigate some shit. But if you look at what we did at the awards at the end of the year.
I'm just saying, crap. If you like the game.
Yes, at the end of the year. I like the game. I like the game. I didn't say what. Are you saying that I don't like Sunset Overdrive?
No, crap.
No, I'm just saying
you said
like Sunset Overdrive.
I like Sunset Overdrive a lot. I'm not. I just said that my personal pick for Game of the Year 2014, just like everybody on the panel, was Rise of the Tomb
Rise
Raider.
came out 2015 though. Crap, what the fuck is you talking about?
No, Rise of the Tomb Raider was our 2014 or 2015.
I'm looking at it right here.
year.
Rise of the Tomb Raider came out November 10th.
Yeah, it was 2015.
Oh, excuse me.
That's
Yes,
wrong.
2014.
Yeah.
God damn it! Cut this goddamn mic
Oh,
off!
and you were trying to get me.
Oh my god!
No, wait, hold on.
Oh yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
There was no collusion, crap.
2014,
No collusion.
2014.
There was no collusion.
I don't remember what our game of the year
No,
was. That
shit.
It might have been.
All I'm just saying is, if you like Sunset Overdrive a lot, I'm not trying to come at you, but if you like that game a lot, why is suddenly Spider-Man like an average Spider-Man game?
Well, because there was nothing like Sunset Overdrive at the time where we played multiple Spider-Man games.
Spider-Man
before,
doesn't that have some Sunset Overdrive to it with all the parkour, all the stuff you're doing?
I
That
don't
four
think
times the
so.
size
It's
of
just
Sunset
more,
Overdrive.
it's just more spinning. It's just more swing to the left, swing to the right.
Yeah,
Swing
but
to the
no,
left,
this is
punch
where you're
kick.
wrong
You know
on
what I
this.
mean?
There's
Like
a video-
they're completely different games. Here's the thing: Spider-Man is Spider-Man, right? You're not going to have some wacky bear shooting TNT gun, and some. You know what I mean? That's what was so fantastic about Sunset Overdrive. I'm not saying that this is going to be a bad game. I'm saying it's a Spider-Man game.
Okay.
It's okay to temper your expectations a bit when it doesn't get a 95 Metacritic score. That's what I'm saying.
Who's saying it's getting a 95?
Oh, dude, the way that the
Well,
Sony people are talking, you would
about
think that it's going to be the biggest game of all time,
All right, let me pay the
and
bills
that's
first.
just not the case.
Okay.
I'm gonna come back to that.
All right. Floyd Mayweather. I did.
Well, what do you have it? What Death? What do you have it at Metacritic?
Well, you gotta pay the bills first.
Yeah, hold on. I did pay your bill, but I'll read it again. Tomb Raider looks lackluster, and no dual pistol.
See, we've got to the point where Tomb Raider can look lackluster. You can say that all you want because that ain't a
Tomb
PS4
Raider looks
exclusive.
amazing.
Right?
Yeah,
You can say that all you want, man. A native 4K game on the X,
Let me
but a
pay $5.
1440p game on the Pro.
Amazing. That shit looks epic
I
as
think-
fuck. Now,
No, let's downplay.
I think-
Hey guys, we gotta downplay Tomb Raider because Spider-Man's coming out, guys. We gotta get with it. Come on,
hold
that's
up.
not happening.
we gotta get with it, man. Get with the program, man. Get with the program.
Hold up. And
That's
also,
fucking
Harry
Get with the
Halim.
program.
Harry Halim said, shout out for the 50-50 sec. He said, I'd rather have a legit boss fight versus Kingpin in a Spider-Man game than have a pretend boss fight versus K-Mega in Call of Duty Black Ops 8.5. Great show. And we got one more. I just seen another one pop up there from Floyd Mayweather. Spider-Man will be bought by a non-gamer, which is true. It's going to be huge.
Yeah.
Okay, so check this out. But
I think
but
that's well, just 1 second, K. I think
ahead.
that's also a thing with this. Casuals are going to eat.
That's what I was trying to get at.
that's what I'm saying. The game is going to sell like hotcakes.
Oh,
I predicted that the game was going to outsell God of War, but in fact,
tough.
no, I think. Oh yeah, I think it will. Now there was somebody that Philosopher Doom, I think it was, which made a great point. Like Insomniac Games has not had a game that sold over, I guess, 5 million. But this is Spider-Man. This has got a lot of hype. I think this game is gonna sell around between 5 to 9 million, in my opinion. I think it's gonna get close to the Uncharted. But
God War is doing insane.
Von Lamont in the comment section.
And I think come Black Friday and into the holiday season, it's going to start to ramp up sales again with all the kids.
you're right.
Yeah.
But no, Spider-Man is definitely going to be
Spider-Man has legs.
huge. Yeah, well, exactly, it has legs too. It's not.
Yeah, but Von Lamont with the comment paying the bills. By your logic, crap, Red Dead 2 cannot be game of the year because it's more Red Dead, right? And Tomb Raider don't look like Uncharted 4 graphically. I'm gonna keep going. Top Dog says crap gamers just jealous, and Floyd Mayweather says Tomb Raider was exclusive to Sony. What Xbox gamers be hyped?
Hey, let me first of all, there's a lot of wrong there, man. Who would have thought that you had so many wrong people in your shows? Z. First of all, Tomb Raider first came out was exclusive at one point to the Sega Saturn, folks. That's a little lesson for you as well. And second of all, Uncharted copied Tomb Raider, being that Uncharted was codenamed Dude Raider at first, right?
True.
Basically straight up stole everything from Tomb Raider, and I would say that Tomb Raider, in my opinion, looks better than Uncharted. The new ones, anyway, the reboot, not the old 360 ones or anything like that. What was the third part? Why would I be jealous? I have the collector's edition pre-ordered. I'm not exactly sure what.
I think
Oh,
one of them was trying to get was
people
if
upset
the new
about
Tomb Raider was exclusive, would you be hyped for it still or no? That's
I'm
what he's
hyped for. I'm
asking.
hyped. I have it
I'm
pre-ordered.
hyped.
No matter what.
I thought the new Tomb Raider looks fantastic.
Hey, can I
great.
give you? Hey, Ned, you're quick at searching up stuff. My 2013 game of the year was the Tomb Raider reboot on
Yeah, I know that.
Xbox 360.
So
So
there's
both those
no
two.
Both got the years mixed up. So did I.
Yeah. Both those.
2015 was I remember it was my
Yeah.
game of the year.
I mean, yeah, you got to remember, man, we're in 2018 trying to remember each of these years. So, yeah, it's like my bad. But, yeah, both of those games were my personal game of the years when they came out. I do know that much.
And
so
both those games got snubbed when it came to the BGAs, which was very unfortunate because, you know, they got because what you had Overwatch that won. That, yeah, and then you had Overwatch and then you had Zelda. So I mean, look, it is what it is. Finally, I think that Sony is going to get the trifecta. They're going to have they're going to finally win their game of the year with God of War. I think
maybe.
But if they put in Red Dead in that,
no, Red Dead is going to be God of War.
I don't know, man. God
That's
of
what
War.
I'm saying. I don't know if they're going to put in. I don't, man. Look, man.
God of War is strong, man. And as far as sales, like the sales that they're doing, if you look, the most money ever since tracked since NPD for God of War on PlayStation since 1995. This thing is God of War is really doing some insane numbers.
All right,
and, here we go with the bullshit. When did I ever downplay a Japanese game? Let me know when you ever find a video where I downplay any Japanese game, bro.
All right, hold on. Let me pay the bill. Floyd Mayweather, he said, I predict Tomb Raider sales is going to be worse than the last games. I think so. And Rossetti, I think he said these are the same ones downplaying Japanese games, but got hyped when those same games came to Xbox, i.e. Nier Automata.
Bro, I was hyping Hellblade and Nier Automata when it was.
Hey, I don't give a shit.
Exclusive to PlayStation.
I personally don't give a shit about them. I just like to take them off the list.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what I like, to be honest with you. Some people just like to watch the world burn. I just like to see the reaction.
See, watch the world burn.
When the Hellblade, when the
crap, you crazy as hell.
Yeah, when the Hellblades, when the Niers, when the crashes, when all the I remember so many people were like, Crash will never come to Xbox because those are the ones developed by Naughty Dog. Never. And then it comes out and they're like, oh, you're dead to me. You're dead to me. What are you doing? What are you doing? You know, it's like now you see today Neo developer saying, hey, yeah, that's not out of the question. We definitely would do that, right? So, I mean, I think it's just all like these third-party deals, eventually they're going to all go one way or the other. And we're all going to end up with everything unless it's made by a first party. So, you know, I'm cool with that. It's just, are other people cool with that? That's what they have to ask themselves.
Now, I wanted to make this point while we was talking about the Spider-Man situation tonight, that like Spider-Man is like the most unique. It is the most different that it's ever been. But there was a video where somebody put out that they compared both the like the fight scenes between of what we've seen at E3, which looked really epic, but it was also in another Spider-Man game, and that person put them side by side and showed them. And it was pretty crazy. Like I don't, you know what I'm saying? You just got to look it up. I can't remember what the guy's name was, but that put both Spider-Mans. But he wasn't trying to like damage control or fanboy or nothing. He was just showing like, look at the difference of how the Spider-Man looks now, and while it's showing the same type of fighting sequence or the bosses that you're going to be fighting, and everything was like pretty much the same. It was pretty unique. So like, look, like I said, the hype for Spider-Man, I get it, but don't try to. I mean, every PlayStation game get these levels of hype, and then once they come out, then nobody talks about them anymore. That's the sad case. I mean, look, that's what I'm saying. So don't put Spider-Man.
That's what happened with God of War.
God of War,
but too, when people said
people still talk about it.
The thing is
that's the exception.
The thing is that the reason why I ask if Metacritic is because I think sometimes that's a good way to judge where people's expectations go. And you know, for me, I think that they're gonna do well, but I can't see them hitting the 90.
Okay,
yeah, I don't know where the 90 came from, but I think solid 80.
Hold on. Let me play the Bills right quick.
Yeah, I could see
like 85.
Shout out to
85 would be very good for them, to be honest.
Shout out to Joe De Jesus. Joe D. De Jesus. I hope I pronounced that right. Joe, he says it's all about to change a head of crap. Crap still talking. And the Ruham made up a good point. He says, give me the Punisher game in the style of a Hitman. Was good, Z. Was a good panel, good show. And last but not least, that will be ill. Last but not least, Floyd Mayweather. He said, ask the panel what they think about the sales of the new Tomb Raider.
The new Tomb Raider will be fine. Like, it went against Fallout 4 last time, and it was fine.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, very good point. Who cares about the sales of Tomb Raider, man? The game is going to be dope, man. Like, that's what I'm saying.
I think the question. I think Neth said that right. I remember when it came out. I remember when it was an Xbox exclusive for like 3 months.
Yeah, and it went right against Fallout 4.
Right, went out against Fallout 4, and then at the end of the day, about a year ago, I think they came out with the physical numbers when it came to all platforms. It sold 7 million. Now, I don't know why people are going off on Tomb Raider. I don't know. Maybe it's because they are trying to
because it's coming out so close to Spider-Man, and they don't want there to be competition.
But
so
for me, for the footage I saw today,
looks amazing.
It looks really good. Man.
It's almost like that game's already being shafted. Like I never see coverage about it.
Yeah, I want to say the same thing either. No one's really talking about it. I'm gonna get it, but you know,
like I'm not saying it's a bad game, but like they're like not talking about it on purpose.
When does it come out? When does it come out?
September, like Spider-Man.
Oh,
pretty close.
That's why.
Like within the same week. Yeah.
That's why.
Pretty close. I think it's unfortunate because the game is.
It's going to get shit on. It's going to get ate up.
Not really, because it's Xbox people will buy it because they don't have.
I'm saying Xbox gamers will get it because
September 14th.
Not on one platform.
Yeah, it's pretty close, but
and the Xbox. So
right,
speaking
and
about
all day long.
And it's going to come on PC as well. So
yeah.
Right.
But speaking about the Spider-Man hype, I just want to reiterate. The thing about Spider-Man is he just recently got like a revival with the whole MCU deal. Like he had terrible movies with the Amazing Spider-Man trilogy, and even Spider-Man 3 with Sam Raimi was not very good. So that's why Spider-Man's getting more hype than ever. He's just a more popular character nowadays because of the whole MCU thing. Like
right,
that's why all those people are going for
it. Like he's honestly, if he's like if you're let's say there was no Spider-Man right now, and let's say there's a free agent character on like who we could make, I think Spider-Man would probably be my number one if I'm like just thinking about getting everyone to love the game and buy the game. And that's the power of Spider-Man. He's one of the most known, if not, I mean he's up there obviously with the heavy hitters, but it's a good thing in my opinion that if the game does really well, because it gets these big companies like Marvel and Warner, they look at these characters and say, hey, let's not make a stupid game where we could just a money grab. Let's really put a lot of money. Let's get good studios and let's make good superhero games, because you know what, they fit. You look at Injustice 2. My nephews just bought the Legendary Edition. I mean, the game is just everything with superheroes is cool in my opinion, and will always forever be cool. So can't go wrong with it.
Right. So I mean, I think that a lot of people took what I was saying like I was trying to dog out the game, and I wasn't. I was just saying like the hype level is ridiculous. Like I get it, but if this game is not going to be on the same level. For like so many people follow the Metacritic and so many people follow these other analytics to God of War, then how can you hype this game up over God of War?
You know why?
Most likely the game of the year. So I just don't know.
I'm going to answer that question for you simply. All around, Spider-Man is Kratos just became this big. Spider-Man is huge. You know what I mean? And you got the new movies, Avengers, the new movie.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's right. And again, we've never had a Spider-Man game with the true AAA.
Nobody's mad about anything. I'm mad about.
No, I didn't say you were mad. I didn't say you were mad. I'm answering your question. Talking about as far as the hype. We've never got a Spider-Man game. It's been at E3 for 3 years in a row. That's maybe even in the contention of talks of Game of the Year.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Is this one in contention for talks for Game of the Year?
Whenever you have an Xbox game,
this is the first Spider-Man game made by a quality developer.
As far as the hype in Xbox people, listen, there was one video made by Kid Smooth that he said it was overhyped. Okay, that's one Xbox fan.
And there's nothing wrong with that opinion. I don't see why.
Right, but it pissed people off. But there's also there was supposedly, I just want to clear this up. There was this guy that people were saying was an Xbox executive and stuff like that. I don't think that guy works for Xbox. I think he's just a PC guy that works for Microsoft that was just salty about the game having exclusivity.
Yeah, my video is talking about that going up right now.
So, but you have that, and you have some people with the opinion that maybe it is overhyped, and then I think that's where it gets a little sticky here, and people,
Hey, yo, shout out to Mr. Parker. Hold up, he said, "How about a Rocksteady do a Killmonger game with the voice of Michael B. Jordan?" God damn!
See, that is a great idea.
That's it.
Boy.
That'd be sick.
Let me ask you guys this question.
Okay.
And people in the chat too. I compare Killmonger's character up there with the Joker.
Yep.
The Joker character that from dude that killed himself. Like
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger, like, you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace. I feel that Killmonger was so. I think his role was so good that I think maybe MCU might find a way to bring him back some kind of way.
Well, he might not even be dead. Like, it was never saw his dead
that's
body.
What I'm saying. Right. So, like, that would be dope. That would be real dope.
Yeah, because towards the movie, towards the end, you know, you start to feel for that character. You started to kind of like that character, and you're a little bit.
It was a necessary evil.
I haven't rewatched the movie that much since The Dark Knight.
Yeah, well, I mean, I wouldn't put it up there with Heath Ledger because that was like he really got into character. Like he didn't watch for days.
No, Heath Ledger is number one.
He was really Spider-Man.
But it's comparable.
I mean, he was really the Joker.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy was high as hell every day of his life.
Yeah, he didn't watch for days. He did his own makeup. I mean, that motherfucker was tripping. Spent weeks in the fucking insane asylum and shit with schizophrenics and shit. Like he was tripping. He really got into it.
Yeah, he was probably doing whatever he was doing every day. You know, he was a great actor, but that was crazy when he died.
Yeah, that was like, I mean, like I said, and then it's all good for talk. But like I said, I don't by any shape, means whatever. I think Spider-Man's gonna be a good game. Just looking at what we've seen thus far. I'm overly excited.
It's 4 times the size of.
Well, here's the question. Like it's something I asked. Something I asked Neethus the other day, right? If you you got a PlayStation, in the Xbox guys, but you got a PlayStation. If you had to choose between God of War, Spider-Man, or The Last of Us 2, what would it be?
God of War. That's not even a fucking.
That's
not even a question. I hate The Last of Us. So
I'm not a fan of The Last.
I pick God of War
over The Last of Us 2. Jesus,
I think Last of Us 2 should be insane.
Yes,
I hope they don't get too. Listen, I know that they showed that they're being like they're trying to be like really political, and I don't think that it's wrong for a developer to do that, like the girls kissing and stuff.
That doesn't bother me.
You know, and that bothered some people. But I just hope they just if they make it like Last of Us 1, it's a hit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they just don't streak from that formula is what I'm saying, and I think that'll be a huge game.
Personally, I'm looking forward to The Last of the Lesbians too. I can't.
Last of the Lesbians too. Yeah, I'm just saying. Though, I'm just thinking about that. Just like, what would you rather? I mean, I love. You know, I'm a huge God of War fan. I can't wait to see what they do with the sequel. I'm a little disappointed when they said there's not going to be any DLC. They're going right up into the sequel to the game, right? I don't know about that. Being that Sony, you know, is making so much money and still selling, they can do a little expansion pack. You know, maybe fight Thanos. Not Thanos. Maybe throw a little bit. I don't know, right?
They only did it for Horizon Zero Dawn.
You know, what I mean, but you know, Cory Barlog came out and said he said no DLC. You know, that was something that he said. You know, but again, we all agree that God of War has exceeded Sony's expectations. But you know, I know what I think what made God of War so epic. You know, this generation started 2003. Like, you know, graphics get better. This was like the really first oh shit moment. You know, as far as graphics and visuals. You know what I mean? In God of War. And you only had maybe 3 boss battles. It's not like the traditional God of Wars. But the story was so ill, you know what I mean? Why can't I kill a god?
Why? Fighting all them Valkyries is a damn boss.
I didn't fight the Valkyries. I didn't skip past all that shit. I landed on one of those islands with that boat one time. I got my ass handed to me. I hopped back on my boat when we finished this goddamn mission. You know what I mean? You know, they got my little islands and shit.
Some assholes too.
Werewolves are ridiculous.
The wolves?
I didn't bother with any of that side shit.
I didn't have a problem with the wolves.
I'm like
the side shit was amazing.
I'm like 82% done. I'm just my first platinum PlayStation game that I want to do. Because I've always been a fan of God of War, so and me being as skeptical as I was about this version, and I was like, well, and once I got into it, now look, like I said, it can't be a 10 because you in that fucking boat all the time. That was annoying as hell to me. But that took away a lot of the
boat. I didn't do it. I didn't do any side missions.
Mjolnir or whatever that dude is. Mjolnir.
Yeah, here's the thing. I didn't do any of those side. I didn't do any of those side missions. I just went on the boat to get to the chamber, not the chamber, the realm, to go to another realm and back on. Did the mission, got back. Went back. I was at Aldeheim. I didn't do any of the side missions really.
Oh yeah, side missions are hot. Yeah,
I just did all the straight, you know, the campaign, the story straight through. You know what I mean? I didn't do
right now. Where the side mission that I left it at was because I already beat the game, but I'm at this place where it's got this crazy fog, and you got to get this I don't know if it's a rune or a fruit or whatever, and I got some of it. You got to collect it. But me, how I like to run around and discover, I always die because I'm way the hell somewhere and not running back. But that's where I'm at right there. But I've got pretty much a lot of the missions done, and I got like 3 Valkyries to kill, and then I'll have all the Valkyries.
Okay, I got a question for Crap. What was better, God of War or Detroit Become Human?
I thought Detroit had a better story.
Way better story.
And then, yeah, like a much better story. Then I thought God of War had better gameplay though.
Yes.
Like I said, I was really shocked by Detroit. I've never been into those type games, and that shit pulled me in from the start. I ain't even gonna bullshit you.
Yeah, it's a fantastic game, man. They really did a good job. I hope for the first time that they decide to do a sequel instead of something new. It seems like they finally found a game that connects to people.
With a sequel though? Where can they go?
There could be other, places around who knows? I mean, they said they had ideas, so I would much rather see that than have them do something else overall. You know what I mean? Because I like that franchise, and you could just see if you played through their 3 games that they've made for PlayStation.
It's by far the best.
Yeah, like that. It's not even close. It's not even close. So,
how do you think the game would do on Xbox? If it was just
well,
it did. I think it would do well. I think
it would do pretty well. It did 1.5 million, or they said 1.5 million players on PS4. I'm not sure that's
what game was that?
fantastic,
Detroit?
honestly, or is Detroit?
It's going to chart again. I mean,
they use the players metric. I thought
Yeah, but
Yep,
you use player metric. I wonder if that's cool now.
Once Sony uses player metrics, it's good, man. You can't be down on that, guys. Come on. They said 20 million hours played in it, 1.5 million players.
I'm quite sure it's gonna make his money back, but here, I mean, I don't know.
I just think they're interesting because they could be a studio that Microsoft could definitely
not with all that scandal they got going on, racist, sexist.
Well, that's the thing.
Microsoft ain't gonna touch them with a 10-foot pole.
They lost that court battle too.
Mm-hmm.
They did.
Yeah, they did. That's not a good look.
Yeah, it's not. So yeah, Microsoft wouldn't dare look at them. They're and then like they're funded by the French government. So
Microsoft.
If they lose any more cases, or if they get deeper behind it, then they could lose funding from the government, and then they could be in some serious trouble. And I don't see Sony acquiring them, but it would be smart for them to. But yeah, Detroit that story was absolutely amazing. I was nonstop on that game. That game was fire. I loved it. I like Telltale games, so that's why I'm saying it well on Xbox.
So here's their official press release. Detroit Become Human has amassed a player base of over 1.5 million since it released in May. The official Twitter account said that the number of folks who played the game since its release is over 1.5 million people worldwide.
Wow.
And it also revealed 20 million hours of playtime.
Oh, wow.
So what
That's
do you
straight
mean?
up Microsoft shit right there.
4.5 million.
That's straight up Microsoft shit right there.
4.5 million attempts at having robot sex. I'm just joking about that one. But yeah, I mean, come on, they're using those, and that's going to be the metric going forward for most things, to be honest with you. Unless it's an unmitigated success where they go, holy shit, we've sold 5 million in the first 2 days. I don't think we're going to see that kind of stuff from very many games. Like when the next Halo comes out, I fully expect Microsoft to go, they made almost 1 billion, because that's going to be big. They're going to release it on PC and Xbox.
That's going to be the biggest selling Halo of all time. Yeah,
it's going to be huge. Yeah. So, hey, speaking of Halo, did you guys see that 4K, those 4K leaked screenshots of the Master Chief Collection? Jeez.
Anybody can play that now.
I'm an insider. Yes, I was in there.
Holy crap!
You can go to Halo Waypoint, sign up for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
It's incredible. Like I think that's what a lot of people wanted to see, man, and that looks really good. Hopefully that tied some people over till Infinite can launch, but man, that really gets you excited for it. And from when I saw that floating around Twitter, I was like, damn, man, the things that those people can do with that old ass code. You know, wish that they would have done that to begin with, but you know,
they didn't give each other enough time. They should not rush that. I'm just glad when everybody thought that the game was that it was dead and nobody was going to get to it. I still had hope that was just too ambitious of a feat to not try to go back and try to rectify. You see
I
what
just have a question.
Hey, you like to stir shit up too, Tim. I see you post that out. Hey, we all know that posting worldwide players and hours of playtime is what the cool people do. Come on.
Hold on. Hey, Tim, hold on. Before you say the Harry Helene for the 50, he says lesbians in society without religious or political norms is reasonable. It makes the world to a character outside of his visual makes more sense than you see. I guess he's talking about.
Yeah, no, I mean about the creativity.
Yeah.
I just hope they don't like. I shouldn't say that because it's not fair to them, but I just hope they don't go down a political route. That I don't think that they will, but just something about the trailer kind of just made me think that, you know, sometimes you can go a little too far with certain stuff. It's you know, and I don't know. You could press it, but you know, they're such a creative studio and they're so good at what they're doing. I'm sure that they know what they're doing. You know what I mean? So I can't really press them on that. But the fact is that if I had one concern, it would be that. But overall, I think that they're going to nail it. With for me, that's a game that I think could be really like the best game ever made type deal.
All right.
What game you was talking about, Tim?
The Last of Us 2.
The Last of Us 2.
It looks so retarded. Just the animations, the detail. It looked fantastic. I can't wait for that game. I think that game is going to set the new benchmark for gaming. To be honest with you.
What game was that?
The
Last of Us 2.
Oh yeah. That should look like some next generation shit.
Speaking of the game that's been setting the bar, setting the trend. There's somebody paying the bills.
Well, what he says, not gonna lie, Octopath Traveler is a great
game.
No,
not that one.
Emerald 14. I you know I wouldn't know anything about but I heard it was a good game. I'm just not. I need something more from the Switch. But I heard it was a good game though. Shout out to Mr. Parker. He says, "Would there be a bundle for Forza Horizon 4 if they were smart and they do a theme console? If they were smart, they would do one. You know what?
They're going to announce it at Gamescom probably.
Smart.
They said they're going to have some bundles to announce. It makes sense.
Yeah. But what made Forza Horizon 3 so successful, believe it or not, was that Hot Wheels pack. That was you know that got me. That was hot. That was nice.
It was also a great game.
Oh,
so,
it was.
Shit, and don't forget
about 4 could surpass it too.
Cocaine Mountain. Cocaine Mountain was phenomenal.
Oh, it was good, but that Hot Wheels took it to another level.
Cocaine Mountain was slick. Remember, me and Tim was out there racing our asses off on Cocaine Mountain. That was dope.
Yeah, but now the shit's gonna be 60 FPS for us, so I can't wait.
Yes, 4K, man.
Well, one of the things I find interesting is that I think one of the things that its detractors would be able to point to, or they're going to mention, is that the game is playable only within the server you're playing in, meaning that you could it's going to be a week of fall, week of winter, week of spring, week of summer, and then it's going to repeat itself. You're not going to be able to just pop the game in and play in fall, or pop the game in and play in a spring, which it's kind of a little bit of a bummer, but you know, I mean, I think they can add that in down the line if you want to do free roam and stuff like that.
Okay,
you know what's cool is they literally bring something new to the table each time,
right?
And I mean, when it comes to racing, like not even third parties have touched Microsoft this generation. It's just it's almost laughable when you look at Sony's pitiful offerings in the racing genre. They used to be kings, and now they're just like just a horrible Drive Club and Gran Turismo Sport.
Hey, Z, you got
the daddy of them all, man, and they
used to be, man.
They just
used to be, man. How have they fallen?
Yeah,
hold on, let me pay the bills right quick. And Mr. Parker, I'm not ducking you and Matt. You can definitely get these hands, but I got a question for the panel before we get the hell up out of here. It says next gen asked the panel if they believe that Microsoft and Ubisoft, will have any news on Splinter Cell after the recent trademark late last year.
Yes, I think so. Where there's smoke, there's fire. You know, we have so much rumors and whispers of rumors about it being revealed. So yeah, I think we will get an announcement. I think Tim alluded earlier in the show that Microsoft's probably going to announce a Sony experience like show just for Microsoft stuff. I think they'd probably announce it there.
Yeah.
Hey, play Blacklist, the newest one.
That game's good.
It's amazing, and it ran like shit on the old hardware. Boot that fucker up on the it did. That's why I never got around to finishing it, but it was amazing. It still looks amazing. Plays amazing. Play it on your X.
That game is leagues above Conviction.
I like the Conviction though.
I loved Conviction though.
That
I don't know.
bathroom scene, banging his head onto the toilet.
Recently on the co-op, man, that shit's clunky.
You know what? I think the question's a good question, and I think it's about time we get a new Splinter Cell. I mean, it's been freaking teased since 2017. Like, let's get this game and let's make it real, please, soon.
Yeah, I think Ubisoft has 20 games.
Yeah, I agree, but I think Splinter Cell is a game on, especially even if it's next generation, the 2020 machines, they can make such a good-looking game with the character, and they could just do so many things with that. That's the only kind of game where you have to hide and stuff that I can actually play. That's the one thing that Splinter Cell for me is different. It's like usually those stealth games I can't touch them, but with Splinter Cell for whatever reason, the way they just do it, it's just cool. So my hope, I hope so, because it's been long enough.
Spies versus Mercus is shit.
And like Z says, you got to strike while the iron is hot.
Yes,
and like right now, single player games, action games, they're the rage. So release it. Just like another not Mad Max. Oh my God, man. It's another action game, man, with the bullet time.
Max Payne.
Max Payne. Like another Max Payne would do great in this type of market right now. They should be releasing it.
Yeah.
But that's it's Rockstar's now, and so I mean, Rockstar's doing whatever the hell they do.
Red Dead and making and selling 100 million copies of GTA 5.
Still, right? And they still won't update it, but I mean, it still sell.
Oh yeah.
I don't think.
Why would you bother with it, man? I just put it out, man. That's a game as a service, man. Game as a service.
I hope that we can get a GTA 6.
Not this at the end of the generation, going into next generation.
But you never know what
Rockstar. Oh man, as much money as that game making right now. I mean, I went back. I ain't played it in like 2 years, and I went and played it just last weekend, and it was fun as hell. I mean, I was like, wow, like this game is
stupid amount of content in that game.
It's funny. I have that on Xbox One, and I've never played it. It's in my backlog. Right, I played it on
the crew.
I played it on 360, right, and I got to a certain part, and then the Xbox One was out, and and then I was like, and then I kind of moved on. But then they updated it, and it was 1080p. Now it didn't have the same grass levels as the PS4 version, but remember when that was a thing?
Messy now.
Yeah, you remember that Xbox fanboy? What was his name? 420 kid or oh shit, I know he was an Xbox fanboy, and he was like the biggest fanboy. And I told him, I said, listen, man, there's more grass on the PlayStation 4. He freaked out, blocked me. About a month later, the guy was freaking out.
I remember that. Yeah, he was putting that, didn't he? He was an Xbox fanboy. Then I woke up, and then one day he just started posting Drive Club screenshots.
Yeah.
Right? Like my feed was just damn it, Rad.
What was it? Rad 420 Gamer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Jeez, and then I blocked him. He freaked out over the grass, and then I blocked him
because I said it has more grass. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know, man. Like that was the thing, and people act like that's not people want to act like none of the stuff we talk about ever happened, right? Like nobody cared about resolution, but that was like everything back then, right?
Yeah, I know. It was like
everything. That was literally everything.
Like now, like Divinity 2 is native 4K, and it's like checkerboarding on the Pro, or whatever. And
when we were talking about the exclusives, they were talking about resolution. And
or can you imagine? Hey, could you imagine this? Imagine if things were turned and the PS4 Pro was doing Battlefield 1 in native 4K, 60 frames per second. The way the Xbox One X is. Like, here's the thing. I don't like G might know, but
I think Microsoft, if that really happens, and believe me, that's probably what Matrick probably wanted, because I heard he wasn't a fan of the X. I don't know if that's a fact or not, but I heard he wasn't really pushing for the development of it. If they just had the S and they didn't have an answer to Sony, and Sony was getting this, I think that Microsoft at this point, Xbox would be in the process of never being in another generation. I mean, they would be getting destroyed.
Thank you, Don Matrick. Appreciate it. Thank you, Donnie D.
Watch your mouth.
Donnie D.
Watch your mouth. Hold up, we pay the bills real quick. Top Dog said, Wipeout VR kills any arcade racer this generation. I've never played.
Shut up, Wipeout. Shut up, Top Dog.
And Mr. Parker, old school right here, you might know about this. So what about our free-to-play Ring King? That's old school from the NES back in the day. Ring King.
Ring King was fire.
You know, knock him out the ring with the uppercut.
Hell yeah. But you know what? Bring it back Ready to Rumble. Like, I don't see why Sega won't try to bring that. Like, that was fantastic.
There's a lot of IPs that they did. I don't know why people.
Speaking of
Half-Life 2.
A lot of people forgot or didn't mention it, flew under the radar last week, but Def Jam Vendetta, they actually tweeted out to choose your city, and I don't know, they might be hinting
give
at
me a fight night. Fuck that. Give me a fight night.
No, fuck that.
Hey, no, I'm not doing Def Jam Vendetta with all the new rappers. Man, I would like to choose Nipsey Hussle and like whoop 6ix9ine's ass. Like, come on, killing me.
Okay.
I want a Logan Paul JJ fight.
Oh shit! Oh
my god!
Yeah, it would be so dope, man. Like, just don't do it. Just don't bring back any of that gameplay from Icon. Make it the old school way. Bring it, and then like if they actually would bring a fight night. I mean, not fight night, but Def Jam. Then that would mean EA Access would probably want to try to bring the old games back through Origin and EA Access. That would be stupid if they do that. Please do that, man.
Oh, we never talked about that.
Oh, yeah,
it's like these companies don't want to make money. Like, the writing is on the wall.
It's licensing music, and
we want another Def Jam Vendetta. We want a Project Cars. We want a Splinter Cell. We want a Crimson Skies.
Burnout,
guys.
Burnout, a real 2020 Burnout, like a real game with cars that explode. Like I like that's one of the worst thing about car games now, and I think it hurt the industry when these car manufacturers said we couldn't have damage on our cars because it's misrepresented and it's not real and you can't do it. But for me, if you could have cars, and I know there's some games like Crash Out and stuff like that. But like to have destruction on cars is one of the coolest things in video games. Or Burnout, when I played Burnout, that was one of the most craziest experiences when I had playing like games. I just remember it was like unbelievable blowing up a car and watching the replay. You know, it's fun stuff.
I got a question for you, Tim. The last question we get about it today. It's already 9:00. I know Megan got to watch Rachel Maddow.
I got Rachel going on right now. She's Rachel on tonight.
We're gonna make this one quick.
He says here, Tim.
Ross, hurry up, wrap it up.
He says, first, shout out to Pats are the best. So you right about
ironic.
that. Pats are the fucking best. What does Tim think about Playground new hires?
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, very good. I think that it's a sign that they're going at the top tier talent and they're not being like frugal. Like, you know, you probably could hire a kid out of school or somebody that was working at a low level position at Blue Hole or whatever. But when they're going after those type guys, it looks like they're being serious. So yeah, they have a lot of talent on that. I mean, overall, sometimes I think, you know, I wonder if Xbox is going to take some of these talents and they're going to, you know, distribute them within the studios and stuff like that, meaning that, you know, like somebody from Playground could work for Ninja Theory and then or like Compulsion Games. I wonder what they're going to do because that Playground team, though, has GTA guys, Rocksteady guys, just on and on with the talent on that, and I think it was a very good sign. It looks like they're not being cheap, put it that way. They're
even 343 is hiring.
Yeah, and so is Rare.
Naughty Dog.
Yeah, Rare has been hiring.
So Ninja Theory.
Ninja Theory got and Playground Games has got some amazing devs. They got people from Horizon Zero Dawn, from
Guerrilla Games,
GTA 5. Yeah, they got writers from the Batman Arkham series.
I said they're not going low budget. We may
Yeah.
get those AAA bangers, as they say.
Right.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be solid stuff, man. All right, let's get going, man. I got some Raw, man. Monday Night
I
Raw
got something raw in
time.
my pants for your girlfriend. But anyway, listen, ladies
Raw,
and gentlemen.
man, come on.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the show. I mean, thank you for the show. Hope you guys enjoyed
Hey,
the
one
show.
more thing, man. R.I.P. Mrs. Garrett, man. The facts of life, man.
Oh, she
Oh
died?
yeah. She passed away today.
Yeah, man. She died, man. Yesterday,
Damn.
man. So
Age
sad.
92.
Oh, damn. Rest in
Yes.
peace.
Damn.
92. What a life, though. But I used to love that show growing up. So.
Yeah.
Good night.
Had a crush on
I had played pocket pinball many days watching that goddamn show.
I bet you did.
Yeah. But shout out to everybody in the chat also too, man. You're being so kind to check out King's Thrash video. He did a Xbox documentary episode 1 really
Oh, yeah, that shit was good.
Yeah, really shout out to King Thrash, shout out to him. He found some old school footage of Next Gen in there when I was in the Xbox. But anyway, thank you guys for watching the show again. We'll be back during with everything that we do. And yeah, hey Tim, stop fucking ducking me. And Matt, let's get it.
Oh shit! Hey, Rick Gates is